Is Joe Biden a political asset or a liability? For Democrats, it's a brutal dilemma. There's no clear answer, but the clock is ticking, and the party can't afford to stay frozen in indecision.
Thank you, sir.
Biden isn't fading quietly. He's out there, walking briskly, showing no signs of illness, and no protest in sight, only warm greetings from all around. The footage looks like a flashback, but it just happened. And it came after a diagnosis, prostate cancer, already spreading. This is the final episode in our three-part Biden series. The first two covered media attacks and pressure from both wings. Now, we turn to the core question: is Biden really clinging to power and hurting the country, or is something else going on? This isn't a hit job. Judging a leader, especially one facing this kind of decision, demands clarity, not noise. At Zindam USA, we skip the echo chamber. If that's what you're looking for, hit subscribe. Let's talk this through. Not many people truly grasp the depth of the Biden dilemma. But for Democrats, how they see Biden isn't just about one man, it's about the party's soul and its future. 1,000 onlookers, 1,000 Bidens, everyone sees in him what they want to see. They judge the man, not the job. But Biden isn't a prop, and he doesn't need pity. When Truman and Johnson stepped aside, Democrats lost badly. After Carter, Reagan swept the nation. History has recognized their achievements, but no one apologized to them. They're long gone. It's the next generation that sees more clearly. Biden recently appeared on a major talk show, sharp, witty, quick on his feet. None of the dazed, doddering images that many people have in their heads. And to those in the media who keep hinting that running again was a mistake, he said it flat out: no, it wasn't. Right now, Biden's very existence is under question. Trump claims the real Biden was executed in 2020, that year he lost to a robotic clone of Biden. Left-leaning media say Biden running in 2024 was a total mistake, and therefore, trying to push him out now is completely justified. But can Democrats really buy that? Democrats fall into three spheres: the strategists and media consultants shaping the narrative, the elected officials openly or quietly pushing him out, and the 2028 hopefuls already circling. We'll break it down layer by layer. What exactly makes this moment so hard? And what's at stake? For Biden's critics inside the party, the consultants and operatives, trashing him completely is political suicide. Whether or not they can actually push him out, rallying the whole party behind anything is a massive challenge. And whoever banner carrier is, they can't leap over, sidestep, or erase Biden. He's part of the deal. They say there are many others better suited to beat Trump, but since the election ended, not a single name has stuck. So why was it Biden in 2020? Because he was the least bad option. Biden won over 20 million primary votes, 52% of the total. He beat Sanders, Warren, Bloomberg, Buttigieg. A Jewish socialist, a Jewish tycoon, a woman, a gay man. Harris dropped out early. After 2016, who dared send a minority up against a white male populist like Trump? Every white male in that race was picked off one by one on the debate stage and on the campaign trail, except Biden. At 77, Biden was no spring chicken. But so were Sanders, Bloomberg, and Trump himself. It was a wild bet, the first of four. But Democrats won that one. Biden got the most votes in American history, with a clear mandate to restore the soul of the nation. But Trump never really left. The gamble continues. So what's the next roll of the dice, and who's really winning? The most common mistake in watching US politics is to think it's just a tug-of-war between left and right. That's lazy, and dangerously wrong, especially in the Trump and MAGA era. That's not politics, that's flattening the battlefield. American politics today isn't a two-party system, it's a four-way brawl. Progressives, conservatives, moderates, and now the MAGA reactionaries. Conservatives lost the GOP in 2016. The anti-Trump Republicans, the old guard establishment, were steamrolled. Some went into exile, others held their breath and played along. Progressives are loud, but they don't represent most of the left. Anti-establishment, anti-corporate, and anti-globalist, they want to rebuild America in Europe's image, but they can't win national elections. They don't have broad public support. They do dominate media, academia, and entertainment. Many are what you'd call anti-elitist elites, powerful but unwilling to break from the Democratic Party. In European terms, they're the third party, the kingmakers. Just a nudge from them can flip the outcome. In both 2016 and 2024, progressives withheld support or even voted against the party, and handed Trump 2 victories. The moderate bloc includes mainstream Democrats, center-left, centrist Republicans, and independents, the coalition Clinton built and Biden inherited. Sometimes called the New Democrats or Third Way, they favor stability and pragmatic reform. Progressives accuse them of betrayal, selling out the working class, embracing globalization, hollowing out the American economy. Ironically, MAGA says the same thing. Both call the moderates relics of the past, with outdated ideas and no soul. But it's MAGA and the progressive who long to return to the glory of the industrial age. In this war of narratives, classic conservatives are painted as corporate puppets. Moderates? As traitors to labor. Everyone becomes the enemy, and no one can win alone. So here's the real question. Without the progressives, what do the moderates have left to beat Trump and the MAGA machine? Right after the 2022 midterms, Trump declared he was running again. Facing indictments, running for president was his best shot at staying out of prison. That forced the Democrats into their second major gamble: who should face Trump in 2024? Kamala Harris had persistently low approval ratings. Calls to replace her grew louder. Critics said she was all DEI optics, too light, too green, too invisible, and too early. But challenging a sitting president from within your own party? That's no small move. You need a compelling case and a major flaw in the incumbent. Biden had no such fatal weakness. And no new star emerged. Some anti-Biden voices floated names they claimed would crush Trump, but when tested in matchups, none looked like sure bets. Harris performed well in a debate. Walz held his own against Vance. But the momentum faded, and margins shrank. So, was Biden the default choice, or the agreed-upon one? Despite concerns over his age and health, he faced no serious primary threat. He waited a few months before launching his re-election bid on April 25, 2023. By March 12, 2024, he clinched enough delegates to become the presumptive nominee. Congressman Dean Phillips tried to run against him in the primaries. He fizzled, dropped out, endorsed Biden, then flipped and started attacking him, eyes clearly set on 2028. But hitching your future to Biden while stabbing him in the back? That rarely ends well. In 2024, the stakes are not about progress, reform, or rebuilding America. There's only one urgent objective: stop Trump. Whoever the nominee is, it's a gamble. And like it or not, Biden remains the only person who has beaten Trump, and with a clear majority. That's not one man's stubbornness. It's an entire party refusing to look reality in the eye. The reality? Biden was far from perfect, but he still outclasses the classless Trump. What they needed were clear heads and steady nerves. So in that race, how do you match your horses this time? Who else can run the right race? The answer depends. From 2020 to 2023, what's actually changed? And what hasn't? What's changed? The pandemic is over. The recovery is underway. Trump faces nearly 100 felony charges. The Biden economy has outperformed the Trump economy. Infrastructure and industrial innovation policies have bipartisan support. The deficit has narrowed. America's alliance is more unified and capable than it has been in decades. What hasn't changed? It's still Biden versus Trump, only older. The GOP still can't stop Trump. The plan to groom Harris as Biden's successor hasn't gone well. And no new Democrat has emerged in the mold of a Kennedy, Clinton, or Obama. Such figures can't be manufactured, they arrive when history allows. The biggest contrast between the parties? No Republican dares question Trump's age. Democrats, meanwhile, are obsessed with Biden's. That double standard exploded into a wave of anti-Biden panic. The partial debate stumble, minor in a historical sense, abruptly shifted the narrative. In the hustle and tussle, a 10-minute stumble was mistaken for a knockout. Panic and abandonment followed. The inferior was allowed to prevail. What had been a tactical "Biden can win" race became an emotional "Biden must lose" stampede. Biden didn't lose to Trump. He didn't even get the chance. He lost to the liberal commentariat. One bad debate, no worse than Reagan's or Obama's first re-election outings, was framed as fatal. But this is the occupational hazard of a sitting president: you are in the race while governing. Then came the cycle of fear, greed, and more fear. Out of fear of Trump, Democrats stuck with Biden. Then greed took over. The economy was booming, inflation cooling, maybe they didn't need Biden anymore. Then one debate flipped it all. Fear surged back. Suddenly, Biden became a liability. So the knives came out. And some hoped to profit off both ends, disown him and still use him. Anti-Biden voices accused him of clinging to power, being vain, even sabotaging his own party. But none could answer the key questions. If he should have stepped down, when, exactly? Before the primaries? With what process? During the primaries? Could that even happen? After? Too late? Biden said he didn't drop out last year out of fear of losing, but to save party unity. Backing Harris was the only legit path forward. Reopening the primaries was against the rules, and campaign funds could only be transferred lawfully to the sitting VP on the same ticket. The party spiraled into panic and confusion. Anger had nowhere to go. So it landed on Biden. Psychologists call it transference. The decision to oust Biden became the third Democratic gamble, and it shattered the anti-Trump coalition overnight. Trump surged back from the brink. Again. Now, the fourth gamble is underway, turning Biden into the enemy. What began as reflection has turned into retaliation. Post-mortem autopsy became witch hunt. No review, no analysis, just punishment. The Democratic leadership stayed silent. But if Biden is the scapegoat, what exactly is the sin? And what voter will buy that? Swing voters fear the far left more than they blame Biden. Still, no one dares to confront the unholy alliance of MAGA media and anti-Biden progressives. So Democrats fall quiet. No one speaks for Biden. After he withdrew, Trump and the GOP demanded he resign outright. Biden stayed on, completing his term. At his final press conference, reporters hounded him over Gaza. Shouldn't Trump get credit for the ceasefire? Biden grinned. Is that a joke? A female reporter replied, no. Still smiling, Biden turned and walked away. That calm grin infuriated critics. How dare he smile? How dare he not beg forgiveness? But Biden saw nothing to confess. His campaign, his exit, his diagnosis, all were public. The country is better off than it was 4 years ago. What exactly is to be so angry about? Let's talk policy. Indicting Trump? That's up to the judiciary. Immigration? His bills were twice blocked by both the left and Trump. Jobs? Strong growth. Blaming Biden doesn't hold up. Inflation is a lagging indicator. The damage began under Trump, not Biden, and has since been reined in. Defeating Putin's Russia was never going to be easy, especially with MAGA Republicans sabotaging aid bills. Presidencies are short. Progress depends on timing, resources, and cooperation. Democrats now act as if admitting Biden's existence was a mistake. But purging him won't fix the party's identity crisis. There are 4 roads ahead. They could abandon him entirely, put him on trial, freeze him out. But none are viable. The only honest path: acknowledge Biden's achievements, admit what remains undone, and focus on the real challenges Americans face. That takes discipline. And unity. Neither of which the party has right now. Biden isn't Carter, and Trump certainly isn't Reagan. Biden's still here, walking, talking, even joking. It's too soon to write the obituary for classic American liberalism. Its roots run deeper than the extremists think. Haunted by the past, paralyzed by the future, America must first face the present. How do we regroup? How do we rebuild the case for steady progress? Does Biden still matter? Let's talk about it. I'm Feng Ming. See you next time.